just a minute and we can get going. All right, we are good to go. So I'll just give you guys a couple of ground rules right now. The sitting chairperson is out this evening, and I believe the vice chair was replaced. So to run the meeting tonight, you guys should either pick somebody from the floor to run the meeting because you are going to be having elections as well. And you guys can just do that with a simple motion, a simple vote, just to run the meeting that way. Or I can try and get you through the first meeting until you get once the chairman's elected, chairperson, they can take over and just, go through. I'll help you along as we can. So. Any questions?
If you want me to run the meeting, I have no problem doing that.
Yeah,
But
that's fine.
I'm also new to this commission, so I don't know
Understood.
if it's anything different.
Yeah, that's fine. Most of you are new. So,
Yeah.
so somebody should just make a
Go ahead,
motion.
Dina, and go ahead and run the meeting.
You need a motion and a vote just to have to run the meeting until the chairperson is appointed, elected, and then the chairperson can take over from that point forward for the meeting.
I move that Dina runs the meeting.
Okay. All in favor? Do we need to?
Aye.
We need to.
Yeah,
Aye.
you should just do a formal vote just to start it off.
Okay.
Aye.
All right. Aye. Any opposed? All right. I'm
Okay.
running the meeting.
There you go. Go ahead.
Next up is Pledge of Allegiance.
Okay. Oh. Pledge allegiance to the flag, United States of America,
and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right. Let me click open my agenda.
Sure, hold on. It'll be up here too. Come on.
All right, roll call. Is that something you have, Eric?
Eric should do that.
Okay.
So hold on. It's really swirly. We do have a secretary. She's online. Noreen. I don't know if Noreen, if you have all the new members.
I don't believe I do.
Okay. I'll just call the roll off of my sheet and I'll send these to you tomorrow.
Okay, that's fine.
Okay. Teresa Avey. She was excused. Hunter Gillen.
Here.
Kathy Rosini LaPierre.
Present.
Cliff Stam. Marissa Lenzi. Paul Lenzi. Fernando Rosa.
Yes.
Deanna Rennie.
Here.
Tiffany Ham.
Here.
Okay. That's a roll call. Now your election of officers, you should elect a chair and a vice chair. Just in case somebody is absent and can't run the meeting, the vice chair would be able to take over. Typically, you don't really need a secretary per se. So, again, so this should be a motion from the floor to nominate someone. That person should accept. And then there should be a call for anybody else. And then there'll be a vote. So
I nominate Dina.
I was going to say, I nominate for chairperson Deanna Rini.
Yeah.
Second.
Are there any, does Deanna accept?
I do.
Okay. Are there any other nominations for chair? Hearing none, you probably want to take a vote.
Aye.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
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 Okay,
Any opposed? All
all
right.
right. So now that you are officially the chair, you can take over the meeting.
Okay,
you can-
thank
You can ask for nominations for a vice and do pretty much the same thing, and then we'll move forward with other stuff.
you. Okay, would someone like to nominate someone as vice chair?
I nominate Tiffany for the vice chair.
Thank you, Fernando. All right, all in favor of Tiffany?
Two things, you should have a second and she should accept.
That's
I
true.
accept.
Thank you.
I second that motion.
Okay,
Okay, do you accept, Tiffany?
I do accept, Deanna.
Okay, any other opponents?
No.
Okay, let's
Thank
vote.
you.
All in favor
there
of
you
Tiffany
go.
being the vice chair?
Aye.
Right.
Aye. All right, any opposed? All right, so passed. Welcome,
Okay,
Tiffany.
congratulations to both of you. All
Thank
right.
you.
Thank you. Thank
The
you.
next item on the agenda is
Thank
the
you,
regular
guys.
meeting dates for 2024. This is the first time we've been able to meet. So you should have got that in your packet. It's typically the first Wednesday of each month. Sometimes we have to juggle it for holidays. So the meeting schedule's there. Additionally, this group has always met via Zoom the last couple years. You can still do that. You can do a hybrid option where you could meet in person and people could Zoom in. So we could have it in council chambers, something like that. That's really up to you guys. If you want to make it hybrid or just want to stay with the Zoom for the rest of the year and then decide, see how it goes.
In
I
favor of meeting in person.
go ahead. Sure. So this is our May meeting. So being realistic that we're not too far away from summer, could we request that everyone try to come in person in June just to kind of meet each other and chat and see what's going on? Also make it hybrid. That way we can offer Zoom. But be realistic that we'd like to still, I would rather have a meeting and it be hybrid over the summer if we have to. Rather
So,
than
yeah,
not get a quorum, if that
Right,
makes
so-
sense.
Any meetings that the town does now are currently hybrid, so it's not one or the other. So
Okay.
if we schedule the room, it will be a hybrid meeting. So if 3 of you are in the room and 5 of you are at home, that's fine. You know, I've
Great.
had a commission where I have 2 people in the room and everybody else is online. So it's, however you guys want to work it. And going forward, I'll try and get a room and we'll go forward.
Great. Okay, cool.
Yeah, agreed. I think a hybrid option would be wonderful.
That's a good idea.
Okay.
I think Wednesday work for everybody. Is the time something that we need to discuss? Is anybody?
Wait, Deanna, may I
Yeah.
just throw in an idea? I own a business here in town, Evolution Yoga and Wellness, and I do
Mhm.
teach a class every Wednesday at 7 p.m. Tuesdays are great for me. Mondays or Tuesdays would be wonderful. Like right now, somebody's covering my class. So if this is an option, if it's Wednesday, I have no problem. I'll get coverage for once a month. But since it's up for debate and we're just starting from scratch, I thought I'd throw it out and see how everybody feels.
So I will say that the EDC, you guys are the first Wednesday of every month. It's slotted in with all the other town boards and commissions, and that's the slot you guys have been given. So,
That's fine.
and that's fine. Going forward for next year, if it's something you guys want to try and juggle a little bit, I can look into the schedule and see if there's another day and time that would be available. If
Gotcha.
that's something you guys want to look into.
Okay,
Okay.
we'll just put it on the agenda for a year from now then. Right, Eric? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, well, we'll start looking at the dates in December. I'll start getting them together and I can see if there's another date and time. You could also potentially change your time as well. You could make it a little earlier if that works for some. Again,
Okay.
there might be a
Gotcha.
little.
We're
plan
getting
there.
a late start to kind of the year. Is that?
Yep.
Uh.
Yeah, that again, it's typically all the boards and commissions have a certain day and a time, and most all meetings start at 6. There are some that do start, like open space. I think they start at 6:30. So I could look at that going forward for you.
Oh, so
Okay.
Eric, most of the town meetings start at 6? So we're the late one.
7.
Okay,
7, yeah.
I gotcha. Okay, I'm picking up what you're putting down. Thank you.
Okay. All right, so these will get posted. They've already been posted. We just, so you guys are aware of the meeting days and times. So for the rest of this year, we'll be on the Wednesday at the 7 o'clock.
That's fine.
And-
I'm committed. So I just thought since we were open for debate, it's great to learn that. So thank you, Eric, for the information.
No problem.
Cool.
Next item. So these are the approval of minutes from October of 2023. So what I suspect is I don't know if you guys reviewed the minutes, and it's okay if you didn't. None of you that are here this evening were on the commission at that time.
Yeah.
So you can vote on it if you like, or you can kind of, they're going to have to get approved at some point. If you want to table it and see if some of the other members that were at that meeting show up at one of the future meetings, I kind of leave it up to you, but at some point, you're more of an advisory board commission, so it's not a land use thing, so it's nothing we have to keep.
There's
uber current.
nothing scary in it. It's not going to be anything that we're going to change the whole town planning by voting them in.
No.
Is
Okay.
there any items that we should be aware before we vote?
Um,
I'm
It was
looking at it
October.
now. It doesn't really look like there was much.
from my memory, there was not that much discussed.
I moved the minute. I moved the minutes.
I second.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay. And in our minutes for this, it would probably note that we weren't a part of the original meeting, or
Right, because the
That's
attendees
clear.
were listed on the minutes, so, yeah,
right.
okay.
Great.
Next item is the town manager report. That was put on one time, and the town manager came. He gave a report. The town manager is not here this evening, so we can skip over that.
I would like to get on there that at least some information that is provided to the commissioners, whether it is a written report or a report for the commission. So if it's something, just so at least that you're aware, we are aware of the whatever items are being done.
So you want a written report from who?
Something the town manager or the.
Yeah,
It doesn't
speak.
have to be, it doesn't have to be really anything big, just, just some of the issues that we should be aware.
Yeah, Eric, may I ask a question? So the
Absolutely.
town manager was invited once and showed up. Do we invite the town manager to these meetings? Are they on the emails?
So if you want to get some kind of input from the town manager, you would invite them, and I can see when the town manager would be available to speak. Otherwise, for those of you that don't know me, I work in the planning office in Newington. I do some economic work on the side. I'm the zoning officer, I'm the blight officer, I'm the wetland officer currently. Lots of hats, so I can probably answer a number of questions that you guys may have. Obviously, there's certain things I can't divulge if there's not a formal application or something like that. So going forward, I can do that, and maybe that report is enough for Mr. Rosa and you guys. I mean, we can, I can entertain some questions at some point.
I think at this point, what I'm saying is at least start off with that. And if there is certain issues that we might want to discuss, then we could bring in the town manager at one particular
Okay.
time. But, just keep us informed. That would be okay. Eric, I'm okay. I'm okay with that.
That's fine. Yeah. Anything you guys, want more information on or whatever, I'll certainly reach out and see what parties are available to discuss. So right now we are at public participation. Let's see. There are a couple of attendees online. If they wish to speak, they can raise their hand. If not, we'll move on. All right, nobody has their hand raised, so we will move on. Chamber of Commerce report. Somebody from the chamber used to come sometimes. I don't know if anybody has connections to the chamber. I'm sure you guys do. I don't know if anybody can speak for the chamber.
So I'm gonna say that Deanna and I are both pretty involved, though you might be less involved this coming year. I offered to be the liaison for this committee to the chamber. I may as well be the liaison from the chamber to this committee. So I can be that connection if you'd like.
That's whatever you guys want. This is your body and
Okay. I was not thinking that that was going to be on the agenda this evening, so just thinking about it, we are beginning work on an upcoming golf tournament that is a big fundraiser for the chamber, and that is scheduled for August 5th. We are looking for sponsors and players. So we're going to be putting out information on that. What else is going on with the chamber? We have a car show coming up.
Car show's always fun time. Is it the first Thursday or the second Thursday in
I don't have all the dates in front of me. It
Second
is June.
Thursday?
It's the second Thursday. I think it's the 13th.
Yeah, and they did just do a ribbon cutting at Shake Shack. So just to make a note that those businesses are starting to open up, which is exciting for the town. A lot of good things going on.
Good membership drive. We're getting more people involved in the chamber. And I will make a point of having bullet points with me the next time we have a meeting.
Okay.
Am I forgetting anything, Deanna?
I don't think so going into the summer. Oh, well, the annual dinner is
Oh,
coming up.
yes. The annual dinner is the 21st at Indian Hill Country Club. Tickets are $61 a plate. And we are looking at the Waterfall Festival for the fall, but I don't recall the date off the top of my head.
I believe that's the third Saturday or the fourth Saturday of September. I want to say the third Saturday.
Okay.
And
The third Saturday.
I believe you can get your booths now on the website.
Okay.
And that's always a good event.
Okay. So I think those are the highlights. That's the highlight reel.
Okay.
Yeah.
And going forward, you guys as chair and vice chair, you can email or we can tweak the agenda a bit if some of these items are whatever, when you want to switch it up a little bit, we can do that.
Okay.
Next item is old business, and it was the beautification committee. This committee, and forgive me, I do not remember where they got their funding, or I think it was very little funding they had. They did stuff with the planters along Cedar Street and stuff over by the cakery and whatnot, and some other things. I don't know how much money they may or may not have. They had talked about some other things that in the past of ordering having businesses buy, the banners and putting them up along the poles like they do with the fall flags and stuff sometimes in the downtown area. Things like that. It never really came to fruition. Oh, I see Gail has her
Gail
hand
has-
raised. Go ahead, Gail. Go ahead, Gail. Oh, yeah.
Uh-oh.
No, she's
Can you unmute her?
yeah, I asked her on mute.
Hmm.
You're muted, Gail. There we go.
Okay. I was on mute.
Ooh.
The beautification committee is only like about 2 years old, I think, but it was funded with seed money. Can you still hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah, a little fuzzy on my end, but that's good.
Can you hear me? Okay. The beautification committee, I think like, I don't know, 5 or 10,000, I mean, it's funded through the town budget. And, the first, okay, and the first project was the planters around the town center. And I think they did some flags at some point also, like the fall into Newington
Yeah,
flags.
yes.
And I think there's like about budget, so they weren't funded this year because they had a kind of substantial amount of money left. So it's up to you guys on how you want to really, use those funds. But I'm sure Eric, I don't have the budget book in front of me, but Eric, maybe for the next meeting, you could let the committee
Yeah.
know how much money they have.
Absolutely.
Do you know how much they spent on like the planters or the flags? Like how much they have spent in the past?
I don't know. The flags were ordered a couple years ago, and I think there was did they get them through Parks too? Parks had some kind of deal because they were ordering a bunch of other
Yeah.
flags and they grabbed. I can't remember. I'd have to look into it. I don't know for sure. The planters have
Okay.
been over there on Cedar Street since I've been in
Yes.
town for 17
Yeah,
years.
that's
so-
how they coordinated with Parks and Rec and yeah.
And Eric, or Gail, do we know who's on the committee?
it was just an internal committee amongst the people, I believe. They're all
It was
gotcha.
Was Dana on it? Gail, I think Dana was on it.
yeah, I think they're all gone now.
Yeah.
But I mean, you're free to again, they were looking at trying to be, a little bit cohesive, but looking at different areas of town, particularly in terms of planters and the entry points into town for to make people, once they cross into the Newington border, look attractive. So, but there's again, I think you guys can start it off pretty much from scratch and do what you want.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, so if you want to continue with the beautification committee, you could make a little subcommittee of 3 people or whatever, and they could make recommendations, or you guys could just kind of ad hoc it and do it yourself, come up with your own, your own ideas going forward. So I think the struggle they had was, we have this, great downtown little area with business and stuff, and then you have the turnpike. So, and it's like, how do I try and include everybody? Turnpike stuff, you have some small businesses and some old plazas, how are they going to get that visibility, stuff like that. So it was kind of, so I think they mostly concentrated in the downtown area, but.
Well, I guess I would say, looking at the next item as new business, is there anything such as the beautification committee that any of you are are coming to this committee with, the different ideas, different things that we want to bring up, is now kind of the time as like a, first meeting all together, or is that something that we save for next time? Are there certain, I know, just as examples, I know that some of the projects in town that I'd like this committee to focus on would be downtown, including Keeney, Best Market. Everyone's shaking their heads. I like it. The hospital project. So is that something that we want to open the door and start talking about now? Different things, different committees, because is that something that we kind of want to bring up now to think about for next month, to come
Yeah,
to the table with for next month?
Yeah, Deanna, I think that's a great idea. I think we need to start the conversation someplace, and nothing like the present, to start weeding out and, threading out where we really want to go and where everybody's interest is too.
Okay, I think that makes sense. So maybe we can kind of throw out a whole bunch of things and kind of see where maybe we feel, this is, I don't know, red zone, orange zone, yellow zone kind of thing. I don't know if that makes sense. Just different ideas, different things. I mean, we all kind of have, I would think, a reason that we've joined EDC. So is there anything that anyone wants to bring up? Tiffany, why don't you go ahead?
Yeah, I think so we're just tossing spaghetti is what I'm thinking. I think we need to appoint somebody or talk about who can contact the people who need to contact the Keeney building to see a status on that. Just to give it, because everyone seems to be talking about it, but nobody knows what the heck's going on. So I think that's where we start. I think also moving into that same idea, contacting the best market ownership, same thing. Kind of like, are you shopping around, or what are you doing part of this? Or are we in charge to see if they have anything in the pipeline, and just following that to kind of see where we are, and then come back next month and then come up with an action plan once we get the updates.
So real quick, can we put a pin in, do we want to go around and introduce ourselves real quick? Because I know a few of us, right? I mean, just, okay. So why don't we do that really quick? Because everyone voted me in, and I don't know if half of you know me. So I'm Deanna Rini. I own Karma's Closet on the Berlin Turnpike. I also am born and raised in Newington, still live in town. And I have been the president of the Newington Chamber. I just served as the immediate past president for 2 years. So I am retiring from that board and am excited to join this, as well as I've been honored to work with Carol Lebrecht on the Youth Adult Council this year. So I am looking forward to serving on both of these committees. Tiff, you want to go next?
Yes, since I'm the vice chair, and you same thing with Deanna. So hi everybody, my name is Tiffany Hamgovea. I am from Pennsylvania actually, but moved to Newington when my son was very young. I was a single mom because of the school system, and he graduated 2 years ago, and now I'm here. I'm a business owner. I did work for the chamber for 4 years. I served as vice president, and also now I'm a business owner almost a year in. My business is located on Market Square in downtown Newington. So anything downtown, I'm just going to throw my hand in and my hat in and say I will absolutely help, because we have some great businesses down there. So my son's now in college, and now I'm, get to fulfill my dreams of being a yoga teacher. So I'm really looking forward. I joined because really, honestly, because my business is downtown, and the Keeney building is just sitting there like a ripe little unpolished diamond. So I really think we have some great work ahead of us.
Awesome. Kathy, you want to go next?
Sure. Make sure I'm unmuted. Okay, so Kathy Rossini LaPierre, Laza Properties. I am from Weathersfield originally. I have been in Newington for about 25 years, And my husband is the assistant chief of the fire department. I have a child graduating from the high school this year. I have one that graduated 3 years ago, and he's also on the fire department in town. I have been involved with Newington Chamber for several years, been on the board with them. I've been very involved in the high school project graduation committees and run the golf program or the golf fundraiser for multiple years, tried to take it from Michael Turgeon and give him a break. So very visible in town, big cheerleader for Newington. I also got involved because of all the activity in the center. I think it's a good time. I think what happens there matters to me and my family. So I also wanted to be part of how we shape Newington.
Love it. I'm gonna go right on who's on my screen. Hunter, nice to meet you.
Hello, my name's Hunter Gillen. I am new to Newington as well, originally from the Shoreline Groton area. My reason for joining is I am a brand manager with Miranda Creative over in Norwich. I've been there for 2 years now. We've done several different town and economic development council committee pieces, working with Old Saybrook and city of Groton, and so being in Newington and having the opportunity to be a part of that council, I thought I could bring some of that marketing to the town as well.
Oh, cool.
Awesome.
Hi, Jeff. How you doing?
How we doing? Well,
Go ahead.
I finally got here. My daughter just signed and bought a house in Middlefield, so that's what we were doing. We were doing the final contract on that, so I got that for her. And we're expecting our first grandchild in August, so we're getting her a new place. She's only in a 2-bedroom in Cromwell. I had to get her a bigger house, so we've been working on that for about last week and a half and got it done. So I'm sorry I'm late to the meeting, but I'm like a 5th generation Newington crony. My father was the first one to go into the first high school in Newington in 1938. He was class of 41. His father was the old fireman that always rode the truck because he was the first one to get to the old firehouse. So I know a lot about the center. I have some property in the center. I recently retired from Century 21, sold out to a bigger corporation. They have 40 offices, and now they have ours in Newington. So I have none of the overhead, none of the liabilities, and now I just sell houses for friends and family. That's it. So other than that, I'm looking forward to getting something done. I mean, there's a lot of zoning things we got to look at. I'm glad they're going to do that now. We kind of waited till the dust settled. I had a lot of projects for the last 8 years, but no one seemed to want to work on some of them. So I'll be bringing some of them back up, and we'll see what we go to there. But I think we got a good group here, and I think we should be able to get something done. And congratulations, Ms. President. I'm sorry I missed the vote. No, yeah, you're in. So
I think it's chairperson, but yes, chairperson.
Future.
Chairperson. Thank you. Yes, do you want to throw out any of those ideas now while we're going round table, or you want to bring them up as we go?
I didn't hear that. Oh, who's going
Did you
now?
want to throw any of those ideas out now
Oh, the
since
ideas
you were
now.
going around?
Well, we've been working on one for the old trolley area. There's actually, the street is 80 feet wide behind CVS and the Masonic Lodge and the funeral home. And some of those properties are still as residential, including the parking lot for the funeral home. And they're one house that they try to keep their hearse in. They can't keep it outside because it's residential area. They can't park a truck there. So we'd like to look at some of the overlay there, see what we can do, maybe make some more paths through to Mill Pond. There's also some old roads that go through there, all through all that old ground area. So we can look at some of the maps in Newington and see some things we might want to do that will improve the quality of life, that'll create more businesses to want to come around here with more walking and more bicycle paths. I think that's what we need to get the businesses. People can't drive and park. We're limited in parking in Newington, as everybody knows. So that's
So
two, okay? You asked.
I did, and I'm very interested. So is that something you have more information that you can bring to the next meeting, or is that something that we need to get the information?
I think I need to do some discussion with the zoning board and come up with something that's worth putting together. We have Diana Kurz, or actually Dukes are from the funeral home, is interested, and a couple more property owners in that area. So we'll get something together, but I don't think it's anything for economic development to work on. I think it's us business people to present it to the zoning, I think, is where we'll go with it.
Okay. Okay. I like it.
I think that's just to keep
Is
you
it
aware of what we're trying to do, is to make that whole side of the other side of Main Street more into the center between there and Mill Pond.
yeah, which would be pretty great. Is it Noreen Addis?
Yeah, she's the secretary, the recording secretary.
She's the recording secretary. Okay, thank you. Gail, did you wanna say hi and
My internet
And-
connection really, my internet connection really stinks. I'm really sorry. I can't wait to
Oh,
get where this meeting can be in person. But
Yes.
I do want to say that I've been the liaison for
Yeah, you froze up again, Gail.
a couple of terms, and I've seen some good ideas in the past that, maybe that never really got to fruition. They're fading out and I'm fading in. I'll bring it. Okay, I'll bring the ideas that I've heard in the past. Thank you.
Oh, great. Great. I don't know if I can see, I don't know if I can see everybody on my screen.
I think Fernando, you didn't touch on him
Is
yet.
Fernando still here?
Oh, looks like he left. I do not see him on any longer. Okay.
Okay. So that was everybody.
Yeah, that's all the commission members.
Okay, cool. All right. Well, we threw out a few things, so maybe next time we can come with a little bit more information. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I would think you guys would want to kind of come up collectively with what your thoughts and visions are going forward. As this body, and then you can either make up some subcommittees if you think that's required for some of these things, and then try and get some action moving forward with some things, and see what's important to you guys. And
Okay.
Kathy has her hand raised.
Yes, Kathy.
So I just wanted to get a little bit of clarification. So it sounds like there's a lot of wiggle room in this group for what we are, what we drive. We're a guiding group for development in the town. Am I understanding that correctly?
I mean, you're not policymakers.
No,
Right.
cheerleaders.
Yeah, suggestions, thoughts, ideas, and and
Okay.
again, it also may behoove you guys to perhaps meet with council and see what their expectations might be, what their thoughts are, and combine those together. And just something to consider. I don't know if that's something, Gail, do you think that's something worthwhile?
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, but I think first that this commission has to get, some ideas of where they want to go, the kind of role that they want to
Yeah.
play.
Okay.
Okay.
One of the things that in the past is a little bit more interactive with some of the businesses themselves, like new businesses, introducing, welcoming. I know there was a thought about getting some welcome packets, to get out to the newer businesses. Some ideas were actually, possibly even doing exit interviews with significant businesses that have left. Some one of the commissions, they actually just divided the town into different sections, and each economic development commissioner had a section of town, and they were supposed to go in and I don't know, kind of be a liaison and, you know, kind of thing. So I think like you were saying, you can kind of take this in any direction if you really want to be, you know, hands-on with the business, or more of a guiding an idea generator, or a combination of both. But I think a couple meetings first should be where you guys feel that you could be, and then we can meet with the council. And I think even
Yeah.
at one point, wasn't there a link, are you doing some links on the town web page about, you know, economic development in Newington as well?
Right, yeah, you guys could do some, again, this is just me talking, you know, I'm not on the commission, but you could do some, you know, business outreach, like Gail said, some of you have different parts of town, and you get some feedback from some of those business owners. What are their concerns? What are their biggest hurdles? You know, what are the things that they have trouble with? What works well? Just so we have an idea going forward about, you know, the needs of local businesses.
I think this goes hand in hand very well with the Chamber of Commerce. So I think that's going to be a
Right.
very key component. And just to go back to Tiffany's request earlier, I have been communicating with Keeney, and I will reach out to Best Market. So I will take responsibility to get as much information for our next meeting that we can get.
If you'd like, I can give you an update on both of those right now.
Awesome.
Go for it, Eric.
Oh, go
So
Eric.
Keeney is still working with the planning office to finalize and develop their plan.
Good.
They're working through some stuff. So we have as recently as last week, we had some not discussions, with some back and forth correspondence about additions, corrections to the last submitted set of plans. So that's in process. I think obviously it's going slower than everybody anticipated. You know, I do know that the majority of the remediation was done inside of the building, in the front office space. So
I don't
they
know if
have,
we knew that was happening. Okay, cool.
so there was remediation stuff done in there. Other than that, I have no schedule for them, so I don't know when they will submit a plan for review by the Planning and Zoning Commission. As far as Best Market goes, as some of you know, probably all of you know, they did make a presentation late last year, or it was early this year, in regards to potential housing at that site. Since that presentation, we have heard nothing from the owner or the representatives. I have had their local maintenance people pretty much get the property mostly off of the blight list with all the cleanup they did. They installed the fence at the back to stop some of the vehicles from going back there and dumping. You know, every time I see it open, I let the local contact know. But again, we haven't heard anything from that property owner. I think they just also put up a new sign for Reno, I think the last month or so out there, like they're leasing again, but don't know the answer to that. So that's what I know about those two properties.
Okay, Eric, going back to the Best Market, is the owner responsive if somebody has reached out to them in the past?
Depends on the question sometimes.
Okay, understood.
Yeah. I mean, he's responded to me because, you know, some kind of violation issue. I've heard on the street that other people are calling for space don't get callbacks, so I don't know the answer to that question. And maybe he just wants them to go right through the broker, Reno. I don't know.
Okay, thank you.
Is
Mhm.
is there something that we can do or say, or a letter that we can write? Like, how does this commission um you reach out to them? Is it to their realtors? Is it directly to the owner? Like, how are there questions
Again,
that we gather to ask
you know,
them? Like,
yeah, if you guys want to try and reach out to them as a body, you can do that. I don't know in the grand scheme of things what their ultimate plan is for the property at this point.
right.
Deanna, may I make a suggestion? Maybe just like Eric said, we do a blanket letter just saying, hey, we're the new EDC. We'd love to take a few can we set up a 10-minute meeting? We just want to meet you, introduce ourselves, see your plans, and we can do that with other businesses, kind of like a great idea to kind of step in and we're the new committee, catch us
Ask
up.
what they need, what we can do, what their vision is for Newington. Okay.
You got it, Kathy. Yep, exactly. So I think and we should make a list maybe of businesses we can do that with.
Okay.
And, I would go just saying you could invite him to an EDC meeting.
Yeah.
There we go.
Now, here's a question I've asked the chamber and I haven't gotten an answer because they only have a list of the businesses that belong to the chamber. Do we have a
Mhm.
master list of all the businesses in town?
I did one during COVID. That's because
I'm sure it's an exhausting task.
yeah, because I was trying to we're trying to track the vacancy rate.
Okay.
What we're trying to do during COVID, and I think Newington, we actually fared fairly well as compared to some other towns, I think. And part of that may be because of the turnpike, but I think, like everybody, we lost some spaces and some businesses, but for the most part, it's hung pretty well. So yeah, so the town doesn't have an economic development director or person. So
Okay.
I kind of did that during COVID.
Okay. We can't
But
ask you to wear
So,
any
you know,
masks.
hasn't been updated.
I think even when we did have an economic development director, we were always told that it's really difficult and
I can't make that out.
actually
Yeah.
maybe the best source would be the
Yeah, you're breaking up pretty bad, Gail.
I mean, I don't know about that, but I think you brought up a good point, Kathy, that the businesses that get the businesses that get the attention maybe are in the ribbon cuttings, are our Chamber of Commerce members, but we can't forget. Oh, okay. Oh, talk to you next
Oh.
meeting.
No, now we can hear you.
Gail, it comes in and out. Yeah, it's
I was about to say that we can't forget about the business and we've got to get a handle. Whatever.
So
right.
maybe that'll be part of our grand plan somewhere down the road. That'll be part of a big picture plan.
Yeah, I mean, that's something you guys could obviously try and track. And the hardest thing with something like that is keeping it updated, because when I did it during COVID, you can't just go through permit records, because sometimes businesses just move in, they don't need to pull any permits for anything, they don't file a trade name certificate, so you really don't even know that they're there. I actually drove up and down everywhere, stopped all the plazas, and I just every business that was active, and I at least wrote the name and the address down, even into all the medical buildings and everything, to see how many units were occupied, and that was pretty much how I did it. So it was a lot of legwork.
Okay. All right. Lots of good ideas and thoughts. I feel like we threw them all out, and hopefully next month we can kind of put them all back together, right?
Okay,
All right,
and
cool.
next item is public participation again. If anyone is online that would like to speak, they can raise their hand. Ah, we do have one. Fernando has raised his hand because he's on the, came back.
Oh,
Go ahead, Fernando, if you'd like to speak.
I only see you.
oh, we can hear you.
We can hear you.
All right. Well, at least I'm talking to on the radio, I mean, on the phone, but I listened to part of the conversation and hopefully I apologize for not coming the right collection, but I like to, there's certain things that we wanted to do that I think want to be, would be to the front, have a town as business friendly as possibly can and look at some of the other things where we can do to help them out.
Excellent.
I don't know why, I'm only got half the information, but I'll try to get it better. Okay,
Okay,
thank you.
thank you.
I know we threw it out there, but do we want to confirm that we'd like to try to meet in person? Did Eric said you were going to try to get us a room?
I think that would be a good idea.
Okay,
I will try that for the next meeting. I'll see what's available and it'll be, I'll email you guys and let you know. And it'll be on the agenda as well.
awesome. Thank you.
Thank
Excellent.
you.
And even if we have in-person meetings, when the agenda and everything goes out, you will get a Zoom link invite as well. So if something happens, you can't attend. So don't think, oh, I got this, so I can't go in person. We just always send it out, even if they're in-person meetings, just because. So don't feel like you've been, any questions, just email me and let me know. Nobody else appears to have their hand raised for public participation. So commissioner comments, and you guys kind of did this, but you can certainly kind of go through it again if you'd like. Any comments that around the table, and it's up to you.
Deanna, do you want to share maybe what your idea or vision is of this committee? I know we're new and we're still kind of creating it, but maybe now would be a great, I don't know, throwing it out.
I think us putting all of that out there is great because I came in just really thinking about downtown, to be honest with you. So to have other ideas come about, and I think it is fantastic. I think we need to do everything that we can. And just let the businesses know that we're open for business. Newington is open for business. We are not only the Berlin Turnpike, but we have a nice little New England downtown that we need to figure out how to market, I think.
Hello,
so I was just gonna say, so Hunter, we don't all know you, but I think you're gonna play a good role. And I think it's two ends. It's what can we do for the businesses that are here, and then how can we bring more business in? So I don't know if there's one that we should focus on more than the other. If half of us look at one and the other half the other, or if there's just things in general that can help both. I don't know. I think that we can all come back next month with some good ideas and get a little bit more direction. Cool.
All right.
Could we get a roster, a list of all the commissioners with the phones and contacts?
We have an email distribution list. I don't
Would
I
you,
don't like to share your guys' information otherwise. If you guys want to share it amongst yourselves, that's fine. But however you want to do that. I don't even know if I
Well, I definitely
have
feel like
phone
I need to
numbers.
share my information as the chairperson. I was reading, I highly recommend everybody reads the things that they gave us because there's a lot of information.
Read
And
the
one of them
ethics
is
book.
that if you're gonna be late, you gotta like let me know. So is there do we not have like we can't type on this?
Oh, chat?
No. Yeah, there's no chat.
Yeah, I think the chat's disabled for the town meetings.
Okay, well maybe when we're in person next month we can.
Or I suppose on the email thread that, oh, am I still muted? Hang on. No, if,
No, we
on
can
the
hear you.
email thread sent out, we could put our own information in, I
yeah.
suppose.
I'll definitely put my information in there and if anybody else wants to share.
That's fine.
Okay, cool.
we are part, I don't see what the problem is of having the information listing because we're part of the town and that, but that's okay. Do whatever you're comfortable with. But I can't communicate with anybody right now. I'm just talking to somebody. We'll figure out the next meeting.
Okay.
Sounds good.
All right. So if nothing else, then we have adjournment. If you so please.
Motion?
Motion to adjourn.
I second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right, we
All
will
right,
see you
buddy.
next month.
So June 5th, we'll see you next.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Have a night.
All right, nice seeing everybody. Nice seeing everybody.
Is there
Bye-bye.
any-
All right, everybody.
Yep.